Hey guys, that was tight. So the thing, okay, of the many things I noticed, you guys really have a beaver in your pants. Okay. Let's move past Chad's beaver here. Beaver. Okay. So the musicality in that piece was super on, and especially, I mean, just in the initial battle, you had one sort of layer of music to work on, and you had another layer that you were riffing on, different tempos. So that was solid. That was awesome. I'm guessing that was about developing character, but also just looking really tight. Can you talk about the process of making that work? How you decided to do that? The challenges involved? What you wish you knew you started that you knew by the end?
Okay. Well, we were actually inspired by the song and didn't actually realize initially that it had an undertone and overtone that fit so perfectly with the characters. Once we realized that the violin should be ice and the beats should be fire, we really just ran with it and focused on hearing our part of the song and flowing with that. We practiced a lot, so we know it really well, and that's how we're able to stay on point so well.
About character development? Oh yeah, the musicality. Like, the big thing was, like she said, like you want to separate, like we talked about in one of our classes, overtones and undertones. Going back and forth, as you can see, any song can have that. Even in like the summoning part, which was, by the way, Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth's theme. And even that part, she was like the rock part, and then she had the more precise, precision part. But yeah, that helps in character development. If you wanted to get like protagonist and antagonist, which one's going to have this song?
Is there anything you guys knew by the end that you didn't know at the beginning that you wish you had?
About this routine?
About that specific process, about musicality and character and using the undertones, overtones? Or about anything else, really?
Don't be afraid to like, even if you don't think anyone would like it, still use it, especially if it sounds awkward, or even overused, because like, music, yeah, because that's musicality with it. So like, the beginning part, everyone knows crystallize, and I'm sure like half of you people that performers are like, which I can understand, but the audience loves it, and it tells that story. So even though I was like, fuck, everyone's gonna be like, I've seen everyone be like, God, you're using crystallize again, what's your problem? And I was just like, you used it well, yeah. And then like, then Sephiroth's tone, which like, I haven't seen Sephiroth's theme used yet. So Final Fantasy music, by the way, if you're writing a musical piece or choreography, listen to every Final Fantasy soundtrack. You'll find something.
So, working for a large group is obviously very challenging. Do you guys have a lead choreographer that does most of the work, or do you do it all as a group and figure out everything together?
Honestly, I hear one word. I have, wow, I'm like picking silver out of my nose. I'm rock solid clown! Okay. Sorry.
About to go on a tangent about how this choreography comes to him miraculously. And yes, it does. He comes up with the idea, he can visualize it, he creates the characters, but it's we work as a group in order to figure out how these characters are going to be embodied, who is going to embody them, and how we're going to move, what choreography we want to do, what our strengths are as individuals. We play to it, and we eventually come up with what we just did.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to unwrap that just a little bit. I've often found that performing with groups has a lot of challenges, dynamic challenges, and without getting into anything that you don't want to share with us, What process do you guys use to work as a group? I mean, is there, sometimes there's somebody that wants to practice it 100 times, somebody wants to practice it 10 times. Somebody wants to meet 3 times a week, somebody wants to meet once. How do you, and then you split it up? Do you try to split it up? How can we work as a group better than stuff you guys learn as working as a group?
Well, we tried to create a schedule, and of course, it's difficult to adhere to, especially with everyone at once. So a lot of times we did end up breaking down our practices. Even, I could practice that beginning part on my own, and then me and Pixie would practice our part on our own time, and then the dragons would practice their part. And then we'd try to get together when we could and do it all on fire together at certain times so that we knew we all had it down in sync as one. Let's see. There's definitely challenges, but
Make it a practice that,
yeah.
when you have group practices, make your practice. Don't be like, all right, we're going to practice from 6 to 8. No, that means 6 to 6:45. You're going to say, what's up? You're going to open something and say, hello, how are you doing? Maybe by 7 o'clock, you'll be like, maybe we should do something. You should, honestly, when you're doing group practices, you don't just say a few hours. You say, hey, Friday, as soon as you get out of work, you're mine. And so, you just, have from 6 o'clock until, 12, 2, 3 in the morning. Miss ISO here, who is, my bestest partner in the world. She's so amazing. She deals with my bullshit so much. And she lives 45 minutes away. I just want to say her commitment. She lives 45 minutes away from practice house, and she makes her way up to our place 3 to 4 times a week to hang out with friends who are around, and then has to drive 45 minutes home. And doesn't get home till 3 to dedicate practice. So people are like, I don't have time for your practice. I gotta go jerk off or something like that. You can actually be committed. If you're doing a group project, there's no fucking excuses. You don't be like, yeah, we want to be a group. No, you want to be a backyard spinner. If you want to be a performer as a group, it takes commitment like a job. We are Fire Magic, and we are turning this into our career, not just an occasional hobby. So if you want to step into that boundary, make commitment, have at least 3 times a week, and have schedules at least 3 to 5 hours each practice you do. And that is give you leeway for an hour and a half to screw it off. and then have the rest of your practice. And be a family together. If you're working in groups, don't just be like, all right, we're going to do practice. That was badass. Peace. Go have a beer together. Play a board game. Go to the park. Do something because you are a family. This isn't just our troop. This is our family that we work together. That's how we are.